Well, one set of guns slightly more impressive than the other,
Yes. Yes. Young Ben.
but Ben Friedman always looks like he just came from the beach.
That's
No matter what the temperature
it looks like he's cold now too. He's rubbing hands together.
Just came from a spring break party in Daytona.
Ben, of course, with a lot of Open Series success, a couple of Grand Prix top 8s as well over his course of his career. So good Magic player.
I beat him in that PTQ that I won.
No.
Yeah. It was my 6-0 win. He was playing mono white, the Craig Wesco white red deck.
Okay. See, Santos is going to devour flesh, take care of that Avacyn's Pilgrim right away. His deck is just going to cast the bottle removal, get a Desecration Demon or a Messenger or Lifebane Zombie in play, and just try to get him dead that way. That's the exact goal here. As we see 3 mana, and in comes the Lifebane Zombie.
Lifebane Zombie, one of the cards that people expected to help, along with Scavenging Ooze, take Junk Reanimator off the pedestal that it was on. A very good card. Deals with cards like Angel Serenity for good. Deals with Restoration Angel. Obviously there we see it deal with Lexington Smiter. It doesn't make you discard it, however. You exile it. Yeah. Therefore, Lexington Smiter can't come into play off that other ability that we don't see too often. But
the discard part of it.
You see it more in Modern probably than you do in Standard. But so Lifebane Zombie comes down, gives Lee a clock, and deals with that Smiter. And Ben's hand is a lot more awkward now. He had a pretty good curve. But with Lee able to deal with the Avacyn Pilgrim and now with the Smiter, Ben's draw is a little more awkward. So Lee in pretty good shape so far. He's going to swing in for 3, dropping Ben to 19.
I think he has another Lifebane in his hand as well.
Oh, wow.
I believe. And this is the card, honestly, that Brian Brondwin said is the card that made him stop playing Junk Reanimators, because this is the card. You see another Lifebane Zombie going to take Restoration Angel, leave Friedman with 2 Putrefies, and 2 Unburial Rites and a Putrefy. This is the card that he said this is the card that was insurmountable for Junk Reanimator.
Well, yeah, obviously Scavenging Ooze is very, very good against them.
Of course.
However, you can actually deal with the Scavenging Ooze and then start getting your graveyard spells going. Lifebane Zombie, it has a way of impacting your hand right away, and it puts pressure on you right away. So, I agree with Brian. It's one of those cards that got me nervous to play Junk Reanimator. I definitely hesitated, and once I saw Jund deck starting to play 4 copies of Lifebane Zombie, I said, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to take a chance on Junk. But Ben's going to try to overcome this here. He's attacking for 1. He has a couple of copy of Unburial Rites, but he did top deck a Loxodon Smiter to help him out. But right now, he's losing this race.
Yes, he is. He does have a Putrefy to kind of catch back up here, but as you said, he is losing the race. And he's got a 4/4 Elephant, which is a good start to try to come back here.
Can't block any of these Lifebane Zombies, though. It looks like Lee has a little awkward hand. It looks like he has a Mutilate in his hand.
Yeah, that's a touch awkward.
Probably doesn't want to cast right now. And might have another land. It looks like he has a Scavenging Ooze, too. So Scavenging Ooze is pretty good here. You come down, it can grow by getting rid of the Avacyn Pilgrim in the graveyard. And it gives him another way to gain life and kind of make sure he wins this race.
His deck is just awesome against like a traditional Junk Reanimator deck, or maybe even this one, because he has 4 Lifebanes and he has 3 Scavenging Oozes in his main deck. So he's got great cards against him, good Clock and Desecration Demon, and then just a bunch of removal spells. So his deck is very, very good against Junk Reanimator, it looks like.
He also has 1 copy of Vraska the Unseen, which is another pseudo removal spell that can deal with cards like Angel Serenity later in the game and stuff. So yeah, I think this deck in particular, it's pretty well suited against Junk Reanimator because it plays, similar to Jund, it plays Zombie and Scavenging Ooze, which are obviously probably problem cards for Junk Reanimator, but also has a lot of removal spells, and it has a Desecration Demon, which can close the game out pretty quickly.
See, Friedman drew a Thragtusk for the turn here. So you see it's coming to the decision of, do I want to attack with this Loxodon Smiter? How do I want to use this Putrefy? Now he has to make a decision how he wants to use Putrefy because there's a Scavenging Ooze that's turning off his Unburial Rites.
Yep.
But these Lifebane Zombies are attacking his life total. So which one to use? As you see, Smiter is going to hang back on defense. That means it's ready to go to battle against the Ooze. I think we're going to see a Putrefy one of these Lifebane Zombies here at some point.
Interesting, Lee decided not to activate the Scavenging Ooze to make it a 3/3.
Yeah, a little surprised by that.
So Lee here, I think it's safe for him to at least attack with both Lifebane Zombies. Not sure if he's thinking about maybe trying to clear the path to attack with the Ooze too, but I don't think he has any options in his hand for that.
I think this is this has got to be a Snap Putrefy, right? He's sitting at 10.
You don't want to die with that Putrefy in your hand,
yeah.
so might as well just get it out there. Obviously, Desecration Demon would be a great follow-up, but I don't think you can risk taking another 6
How
here.
about a third Lifebane Zombie?
That's pretty
How's
good.
that? Is that a good follow-up? Jeez. You see, Friedman, you just got my Thraktos too. You're 3 for 3 on Lifebane Zombies. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play against that card either if I was playing Junk Reanimator. I see where Brian Brun was coming from.
Quite the frustrating situation for Ben here. He's got 2 Imperial Rights that basically don't do anything with that Scavenging Ooze in play.
Yeah.
And he's got a Lockdown Smiter that has to just hold back a 2/2.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he's just taking 6 each turn.
And he just drew his 5th Mana Source, 4th land in Overgrown Tomb, which he would have been able to cast the Thraktusk off of. But it's not there anymore thanks to the 3rd Lifebane Zombie, so he can only play it tapped and pass the turn back to Santos, who's going to draw his card. He's got a Mutilate in his hand. He doesn't need to cast.
Wow, he drew a Putrefy too.
Yep, that'll clear things up. I think he's going to pull the trigger on that.
I
No
think
reason
it's
not
a safe
to.
read to know that there's not a Resto in his hand. So.
And Friedman is going to concede the game, so Lee Santos does win game number 1. Black-Green Rock, up a game over Junk Reanimator. And Ben's going to grab his sideboard and go to help, and we're going to take a look at it with him, and you have it in front of you.
Well, Bloodbound or Viscopa, obviously, probably snap coming in. Pro-black, very good, especially the life game. But again, this is the same problem that I had, was when I was trying to come up with good sideboard cards for this matchup, or like a matchup against Jund, the cards that you typically think are good are like Obzida, maybe Blood Baron, but Lifebane Zombie can steal those cards pretty effectively. So you're kind of in this awkward position where, yes, those cards are really good if you can get them to resolve, but they can also be sniped right out of your hand with Lifebane Zombie like we saw in game 1. So not much else he can do, though. I think he definitely wants to bring in the Blood Barons. He's got 1 Slayer the Wicked, which I think can come in because it can deal with, it can kill Lifebane Zombie and stuff. So maybe the Slayer comes in. 4 Unflinching Courage, which probably isn't coming in this matchup. 2 copies of Prophet at Loss, same thing. He has 1 copy of Putrefy, which I expect him to bring in. 1 copy of Obzida, which again works well against a kind of Jundy type black-green rock deck. And he has 3 copies of Liliana the Veil and 1 Cavernous Souls. I don't think either of those cards is that great in this matchup, but I think he might want to bring in Liliana the Veil just as a way to sort of pick apart Lee's hand, just because against a deck like that has a lot of is a very removal heavy, just being able to pick apart their hand and trying to win with 1 big creature is a reasonable strategy. Plus, it's a way that you can deal with Scavenge Goose. Like you can just, if Lee gets a little greedy and just plays turn 2 Scavenge Goose, you can deal with it that way. It's another way you can technically deal with Lifebane Zombie. So I think Liliana Veil is probably a reasonable card to come in this matchup.
Take a look at Santos' sideboard. He has 15 Lifebane Zombies.
15. Actually, let's not be ridiculous. 11 and 4 clones.
Okay, my apologies. 3 Duress, 2 Appetite for Brains, 2 Pithing Needle, 2 Golgari Charm, a Doomblade, a Sever the Bloodline, a Gaze of Granite, a Primeval Bounty, and 2 copies of Underworld Connections. So if he wants to go into a little longer game, which typically happens in this matchup, Connections is certainly good here. I don't really care for the Duresses. Appetite for Brains I think is okay. Be able to take Thraktos, Restoration Angel, all the things that are available in Junk Reanimator that we know by now. Certainly makes that one appealing. Needle, certainly not for this matchup. Golgari Charm, not really important here as well. Love Sever the Bloodline in this matchup, as exiling is a big deal. Graze of Granite, more for a bad hexproof type matchup. Primeval Bounty, probably more for the mirror. And then Doomblade is fine. Actually, probably pretty good, because of like Angel, one of those slides into play. Either Angel, honestly, Restoration or Serenity. So I could see boarding in one of those. Card I actually don't really like very much in this matchup for him. He only has 1 Devour Flesh. Don't really care for Liliana Veil in this matchup either. And Mutilate is okay, but I think he can just actually increase his deck to have better cards than Mutilate after sideboard.
Well, the only question with Mutilate is it's a way that he can deal with Blood Baron, but does he know that Blood Baron's coming in? That's the question. Sure. I think that you've seen Blood Baron in a lot of lists online, so it's reasonable to think that it would be coming in. Obviously, he can block it with a Thragtusk, but you'd have to imagine that Ben probably has some sort of answer for that, either in a Shadowborn Demon or a Putrefy, or maybe another removal spell. So I think that it's fine. I think you probably want maybe 1 Mutilate or 2. You want to, but I think you can shave some of those numbers.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you, my friend. As we see both players are shuffling up here for game number 2. If you guys are just joining us, Cedric Phillips, Osip Lebedovich here in the booth as Star City Games Open Series made its way to Philadelphia. Of course, you can join us on Twitter at all times over the course of the day at SCG Live, hashtag SCGPHL. We'll be talking about Theros spoilers, Grand Prix changes. We've got some new events that Star City Games will be running next year. 3 Grand Prix for us next year, my friend,
Wow.
in Richmond, Orlando, and New Jersey. I know we did Miami together. I don't know if you want to run it back. Your call.
Run it back.
Your call. I know we had a blast down there in Miami, the home of LeBron James, my favorite athlete. So, you know, if you want to, you just let me know. My people, talk to your people.
Yeah.
Doing the Grand Prix together.
Sure.
Definitely cut Patrick out of it, though.
They always say
We could do-
Richmond's the Miami of the nowhere, so I might as well.
Oh, is that a thing that they say? See, Ben is going to start off with a Woodland Cemetery to get game number 2 underway.
Woodland Cemetery comes down, which looks like both players kept their opening 7. So Ben's hand very mana hungry. Looks like his Angel Serenity Thragtusk. It does have. It looks like he did bring in the Liliana, so he has both copies in his hand. Not sure what
very
other mana.
weird hand.
Yeah, very weird keep here.
I think I see a Manic Cylinder, but I'm not sure because like he just drew he has a Cavern. I don't know if he has another land. I think he's got an Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Yeah, he does not have another land. It looks like he kept.
Okay, so he's got 2 Manic
Yeah,
Cylinders. All right,
okay.
got it.
He kept a 1-land double mana creature hand, and he drew the Cavernous Souls this turn.
Okay. It's kind of funny that he has 4 mana in play. He named Elf there with the Cavern. He's got 4 mana in play, can't cast a Liliana next turn. Which is just ridiculous that that's even possible. But yeah, here we are. And Arbor Elf doesn't even get to untap anything right now.
Yeah.
So he's got to peel off some sort of forest as well to be able to turn that on.
Godless Shrine would be a good peel.
And not bad, not bad. Here's a swamp there from Santos. See if he has a
Sign of
removal spell.
Appetite
Brains.
for Brains. So he will be able to deal with one of those fatties. Be it Angel or Thragtusk. Probably Thragtusk.
Yeah, and then the 2 Lilianas there as well. I think he'd probably take. Oh, he's gonna take the Angel. I thought he would take Swag Tusk.
Yeah, because if Ben does top deck a land here, then Thragtusk follow up with a Liliana uptick. I mean,
Got to be a forest.
yes.
Got to be a forest. But yes.
So let's see. Overgrown Tomb, Temple Garden. Temple Garden's probably. You probably want Overgrown Tomb.
What do we draw?
Ooh,
Sun
Sun
Petal
Petal Grove.
Grove.
Unfortunately, not gonna get there this turn.
Sun Petal Grove is really ugly, actually. He can't cast Liliana or Thragtusk or untap it with Arbor Elf.
Yeah.
I mean, he did draw a land.
Basically, the worst land we could draw.
Yeah. Awkward mana draw here for Friedman. He's going to get in for 2, put Santos down to 18 and pass the turn back.
Santos has an Abrupt Decay.
He's got a Mutilate in his hand as well.
I think I would just Abrupt Decay the. I don't know. Knowing you're playing against 2 Lilianas, maybe you want to just try to
hold
play
one.
for that Mutilate.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you there,
Hope,
too. Like, it's
hope that
appealing.
Ben bricks on another land.
Yeah. It's certainly appealing.
Yeah, because you know he can't cast a Liliana. You know his hand. He can't cast a Liliana. He can't cast a Thragtusk.
Yeah.
He's going to top deck a land here.
I think he drew.
Oh,
He
it's
drew an
Avacyn's
Avacyn's Pilgrim.
So at this point, yeah, I think you're fine to attack now. Maybe bait Lee into Abrupt Decaying. Hopefully Lee Abrupt Decays the Avacyn Pilgrim so that maybe you can still cast your... Are you just going to pass the turn?
I mean, this is like the worst turn ever for Friedman, right? Like, he has to pass because Mutavault's in the way,
Yeah.
so he can't attack, and he can't play the other Mana Accelerant if he assumes that Lee has Mutilate still in his deck. So he actually just can't do anything. And if you're Lee, now you get to pick and choose on what you want to do because you don't even have to Mutilate this turn. You can just cast Desecration Demon
Nah,
or Lifebane Zombie.
I would Mutilate.
Yeah, I would either cast Desecration Demon or Lifebane Zombie. You see, he's going to get the information, take the Thragtusk there, double Liliana and Avacyn's Pilgrim because I want to use all my mana this turn. And I think there are arguments both ways.
The reason I don't like this play is you're gonna cast Mutilate. Like,
Yeah.
are you not gonna kill those mana creatures?
Yeah, like I would cast Desecration Demon last turn and then Mutilate the following turn because like Desecration Demon, I guess if he heals a Black Source and Liliana,
If he goes Black Source Liliana, then you're just
He's
back where you
wasting your
were.
card,
So
yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't just cast. You know even if he top decks a land, he can't cast any of the spells in his hand. So it doesn't matter. The worst thing he can cast is a Liliana, and you have an Abrupt Decay for that.
Yeah.
So then you could just go Abrupt Decay, Lightbane Zombie in the same turn.
Yeah, that's true. So it looks like we're going to probably see Lifebane Zombie to start by getting into the red zone. We'll see exactly how Santos wants to navigate this turn, because he does have a 5th land and a Thragtusk in his hand as well, so he's definitely got some options here.
So this is a pretty... I'm not going to say his Mutilate is turned off, but it makes it very awkward for him to cast it. And especially now, because Ben has 4 lands in play, so at this point I think he has to just commit more creatures into play.
Yeah, I agree.
Just get that Desecration Demon out there, maybe Smiter.
He's going to commit another
Lifebane Zombie. Okay.
Alright, so...
Again, you know what's in his hand. Do you really care about the elf?
I also don't love the... How do you feel about this happening there?
Yeah, you definitely keep Mutable.
Okay.
So now you know you're just dealing with 2 Liliana the Veils.
You see Thragtusk being pulled forward to Santos' hand. As you see, Friedman displays his Mana Accelerant to Liliana the Veils in his hand. Friedman going to go down to 11 here from a 6-point attack by Santos and his 2 Lifebane Zombies. I think Santos is pretty far away from the plan of actually casting a Mutilate, and I think he can just keep cutting threats to the board now.
Yeah, and at this point, there's no reason to just not drop threats.
So now Liliana's just like way worse. He looks like he's going to go with the Demon. Just pass the turn back.
Again, you probably leave with Thragtusk there just because if he does have Liliana, you can sack your Thragtusk and make sure that Liliana dies next turn.
Now, Friedman draws Angel of Serenity. This game gets mighty interesting.
That's why I'm surprised those elves are still in play. You'd imagine that he would have probably got rid of them at some point. But that's why I thought the Mutilate was so important on turn 4. You just don't want him to get mana, because if he top decks an Angel Serenity, he's right back in it.
Yeah. Angel Serenity makes this game ridiculously
I don't think Lee has a removal spell for Angel in his hand. He has a Abrupt Decay, he has a Mutilate, which isn't going to kill, and he has a Thragtusk, and he has a Tragic Slip. But Tragic Slip isn't a removal spell.
No.
It's if you can activate Morbid, but if he does have the Angel Serenity, he can wipe off Lee's side of the board. Which is another reason I would have preferred to cast the Thragtusk.
Sure. And, you don't have to tap all your mana every turn, but I think mana efficiency over the past couple of turns I think would have been key here for Lee, so that when he does get a flashpoint where he can play 2 spells, then it becomes very difficult for him to lose.
The only thing I can think of is maybe Lee thinking, if he does play Liliana somehow, I can activate my Mutable and sack that instead, but then you're only at 4 mana and you can't cast a Thragtusk in your hand, so I'm not quite sure that would make any sense. But here comes a Garruk. Garruk's going to be able to deal with one of the Lifebane Zombies here.
Yeah, it's the Relentless version, and I think we're going to see it probably take care of a Lifebane Zombie, I would think, but we'll see if it's worth making a 2/2 or not.
I think if Ben realized that probably his best chance here is to top deck an Angel Serenity, I think he wants to just minimize the amount of damage that he can take.
Sure.
So if he goes after the Lifebane Zombie, that means that Lee pretty much has to attack the Garruk next turn. If Ben just makes a Wolf, I think Lee doesn't need to attack. Lee's probably safe just attacking Ben for 6 and dropping him to 5.
Sure. The argument is he can make a Wolf so he has something to sacrifice to the Demon, but I don't feel like it's a game-winning play.
No, I think you're trying to make sure that you can top deck an Angel Serenity here.
Yeah, it would just be delaying the inevitable, which
or even like a Grizzly
winning.
Savage for a salvage rather for an Inverter Rights and Angel Serenity.
All right, so Santos is going to untap and draw his card. You see his hand right now. He's got a Thragtusk. He's still got that Abrupt Decay. Tragic Slip hiding out in there as well. Maybe 2 copies of that now. Got that Mutilate as well. Looks like, yeah, he has a second Abrupt Decay, so now both Lilianas are covered.
So Lee should probably declare his attack step first here.
I think that's a good place to begin.
At this point, you wonder if Lee's just going to pull the trigger and just go Abrupt Decay, Tragic Slip, your 3 guys, and keep you off of Angel Serenity mana. I have to figure Lee's aware that Angel Serenity is probably the only way that Ben can pull back into this game.
Yeah, and
I know he has an Abrupt Decay. He can. I think it's worth killing at least one of the elves to keep him off of 7 mana. You want to kill 2 of them, I think.
Yeah, Friedman goes down to 2.
Oh no, he knows about the 2 Lilianas. So yeah,
he knows the hand. He's working on perfect information.
So you want to just kill one of the elves, I think.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what he does. Keeps him off of 7 mana. So even if Ben top decks Angel Serenity,
he's going to take care of another one. Tragic Slip that one. Yeah. And Friedman can draw a Thragtusk now. That one.
No, I don't think he has a. Oh, does he have a Temple Garden?
Yeah, he's got a Temple Garden down yonder. Yeah, he could have. Santos could have potentially attacked with a Mutavault there if he wanted to.
I think he should have.
Yeah.
Because Ben has to block.
Yep. So it would have been a lethal. So now this is going to untap. This is going to do this. So there's make you sacrifice this. Make you sacrifice a guy. Looks like he's going to make him sacrifice the old...
Lifebane Zombie. Or
dude, the Mutavault.
Desecration Demon.
Mutavault. Just
Mutavault,
activate.
yeah.
Yeah, sack. And that is it.
There's-
So Lee Santos is going to beat Ben Friedman in 2 pretty convincing games. Black-Green Rock taking down Junk Reanimator. And I think that as far as difficult matchups for Junk Reanimator go, I think that is one.